Hey TrueBuild members, today we're going to walk you through your next layer 1 account setup, which is through Grainger. In today's video, we're going to cover what Grainger is, why they're important for the business credit building process. We'll walk you through an account setup from start to finish. As always, we'll go over some purchasing parameters and some extra tips and tricks to remember while you utilize this account. So I'm going to take you over to your member portal. And here we are on the homepage for Grainger within your member portal. So this is within layer 1 of step 3 in your login. So you'll want to just navigate to the Grainger tab. And this page is going to give you a little bit more information just about Grainger themselves, where they report, some contact information and things like that. So you're going to want to scroll down here to go to application. When you click on that, it's going to take you over to the registration page for Grainger. So this page is similar to some of the ones that we've seen previously with Uline and Quill. You're basically just filling out some pretty standard company information. On the registration type dropdown that we have here, you just want to make sure you have register and create a new business account as your choice. And then same with the other accounts, you are just going to fill in your information here. And this is the registration information. So this is the email that your account will be under. It's okay if it's not a professional business email that has your domain in it at this stage in the process. You can just use a simple Gmail. So we're going to hit continue on that. And then we're going to be taken down to the next field that has you input some address information. So you're going to want to input your company name and then your current business address. This does need to be the same address that's on your Dun & Bradstreet report, as well as your Secretary of State filing, just to make sure that everything reports properly. Also, you'll notice at the top of this section, you have this little toggle switch to check off federal government. That is only for businesses that do government contracting. So most likely you won't check that off unless you do that. So we're going to leave that unchecked. And then we're going to hit continue. And we're also going to see a little window pop up for address verification. So they just want to double check to make sure that you inputted your address correctly. As long as you inputted it exactly as it appears on Dun & Bradstreet, as well as your Secretary of State, you probably just want to go ahead and use the one that you inputted, unless you typed in something incorrectly and they correct it. So we're going to hit use address anyway. And then this final section, this is where we're going to complete the account setup. So we're going to input a password. And as always, there are some password requirements, so you'll just want to follow those. So we're basically just going to input that. One thing that I want to take you over to, so as you saw, we did the registration, we filled in the address information, and then under this account security section, with certain accounts, Grainger does extend a $1,000 trade credit. What that means, it's not revolving credit, it is net 30 terms, but they will give you a net 30 terms $1,000 credit line to use with this account. And they pick the accounts at random that they do assign that to. They'll give you a little option to check off if you do want that. If you do get presented that option, you want to take it. I'll show you in another screen an account, since this is a dummy account that we're setting up right now. I'll show you in a screenshot of an account that did get that. So I will take you over there in just a moment, but just know that that does happen in this section. If you see that pop up here after you filled out those first 2 fields, then you'll want to make sure to check that off. So I'll take you over to an image here of what that looks like. So this is that same registration page that we are on in the other window. You put in the registration information for your account, your address, and then here it's highlighted in yellow on this screen. That's not the way that you'll see it. It'll just appear in black and white. And it'll just say your business may qualify for a $1,000 trade credit. You'll hit yes on that little box, and then you will have net 30 terms on this account. Now, one thing that's important to remind you, similar with the Uline and Quill, not every account gets extended those net 30 terms. And if you don't get them, it is okay. You can make an upfront purchase. One thing with Grainger in particular, though, is that if they don't automatically assign you that trade credit option, you can reach out to their customer service, and occasionally a representative will be able to manually assign you net 30 terms. And at that point, you'll have them. If they don't do that, though, still, then it is, like I said, it is perfectly okay just to do that upfront purchase. It'll still report as long as you meet that minimum purchase requirement of the $50 before taxes and shipping. So whether or not you get the trade credit option is perfectly fine. But if you do get offered it, make sure to check that little yes box. And then after you do all that, you'll hit submit registration. We're not going to do that right now because this is a dummy account. But at that point, after you hit submit registration, you'll get a confirmation window. So in this other tab, we have a confirmation for a previous account that says registration processing. Now, one thing that I want to mention about this, with Grainger in particular, occasionally there's system errors and they don't assign account numbers to accounts. So the way that you know if your account was assigned an account number is you'll hover over this little My Account link up here, and it should just say your name. So here it would say John Doe. And then right underneath that, it would say account number followed by a 10-digit unique account number. If you hover over that and you only see your name, but no account number, that means Grainger did not assign the account number to the account, and then you won't be able to make online purchases and have them report properly. So it is important to get that account number. Now, the way that you'll want to go about that, if you notice that your account was not automatically given one, you're going to want to contact Grainger's customer service. Down here, you'll see the different options. You can call them, you can email them, and then a representative will be able to manually assign your account that account number. It's just potentially a glitch in their system that this does happen on some accounts. So if it does happen to you and you notice there's no account number in your account login, then you'll want to go ahead and reach out to them and just make sure that they manually assign it to you. Once that's all said and done, and you have an account number, you can go ahead and make a purchase. So just to kind of wrap up what we talked about today, we just want to go over some extra tips and things to remember, keep in mind as you utilize this account. Make sure, like we walked through, you have the business address listed as your shipping address. That's going to make sure that this trade line reports correctly. And then like we talked about, Grainger randomly extends that $1,000 trade credit at their own discretion. So if they don't extend it to you, it is okay just to make that upfront purchase. And then as always, if you are given those invoicing terms, make sure to make the payment on your invoice 7 to 10 days prior to your due date, just to make sure everything reports on time. If you did an upfront purchase, obviously you don't have to worry about that. You've already paid for it. You'll just wait for your products to show up and then your trade line to report. So now you have an account set up, whether you got the terms or not. Your purchase with Grainger should report within about 30 days from your purchase date, similar to all the other accounts. But as always, sometimes the trades do appear sooner. So go ahead and set up this account, make a purchase, and happy reporting.